Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
Hello, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor, and we're going to do the review for the NXT show October 4th. And they start off with a number 4. I know you're wondering what a number 4 is. That's my rating on this particular interview. They start off with Pretty Deadly, coming out in the garb of the old English lords or the House of Nine, whatever it is. A bunch of guys in white wigs and all that crap. Well, they're declaring all of these things. Like one of them is that they should be champs forever. Yeah. And this interview I'm usually really liking Pretty Deadly. Really do. But this interview is okay. But it is saved. It is saved by the Battling Brutes. The Battling Brutes, that's right. They come out, Butch and Rich. They come out and they declare they are here for the belts. And apparently they're not doing it like solo. They came in and got a match, a sanctioned match. All right, so of course they have to jump in the ring, throw a few hands. Pretty Deadly ends up on the outside. And we go from there. We go to Toxic Attraction is pulling up in the parking lot. You know, one of the most dangerous places at a wrestling event is the parking lot, they say. And, they're pulling up and the girls get out. Mandy hasn't made it out. And all of a sudden, Alba Fire appears with a bat and takes it to the ladies and then jumps in the back seat of this SUV with the bat on Mandy. Now, for some reason, the limo driver, Mandy's limo driver, took off. So, I did a little driving back in the day and had a little training, and I don't see where your client is attacked and you decide to take them to In-N-Out Burger. So, I don't know on that one. We'll go from there, but it messes the girls up. Toxic Attraction is a little preoccupied later on when it comes to their match. So, they're getting ready to have, Oro Mensah and Mello are going to have a match. And, of course, Mello's got Trick with him. And Oro, man, I got to say, man, he has impressed me. I didn't know a lot about him. I've been learning more, and this young kid has star written all over him. And so he's from Ghana. That makes him an international star. So he can reach a lot of audiences, and that's freaking great. But this match is good. They go move for move. I mean, some really good mat wrestling to start this off. I was impressed. Mello, of course, Mello was going to put on a good match, but Oro did very good. They were going tick for tack, move for move, flip after flip. Somebody hit somebody, they flip back up. Same on both sides. Everything is equal in this match. So you're thinking, maybe Mello loses for 3 weeks in a row. That would be a losing streak, my friends. I don't know any other way to call it. That would be a losing streak. But they get, the match goes on. Of course, Trick's got to get involved. So once Trick gets involved, it causes a distraction. And then Mello's able to pull a couple moves, and he wins the match. And after the match, Mello is going to stay out and do a little color commentary with the boys. And they got Byron Saxton this week filling in for Wade's normal partner. Normally it's just Wade and the other gentleman that they said had problems at the border. Not sure what that meant, but they're going to lead into a Andre Chase and Von Wagner North American qualifying match. So, Melo's going to stay out there and check it out, but he wants to announce to everybody that losing streaks can kiss my because he don't know what that means because he just won. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That threw me off the way they did that. But this is another good match. Man, when I saw that Chase was going to be fighting Von Wagner, you've really got to pull some things out of your because, Von is such a big guy. He's got those long legs. There's all kinds of targets on him, but it doesn't take back the fact that he is a big guy. The old Stan Hansen lariat type, JD, or JBL. I said JD. JBL. He had another good clothesline back in the day, but a big guy. So, of course, Von Wagner's got Mr. Stone, and Chase has got Bodie and Thea, and so the match is actually pretty freaking entertaining. I was surprised. I figured they was gonna. It would be one way or the other. It would be a Von just whooping the crap out of it, and with Chase getting a couple good moves and everything. But that was not the way this match went. It was a true a wrestling match. It was David versus Goliath in a sense, but you cannot take anything away from this match. Now, just before this match, they did have a quick promo with Brutus and Julius and about the 10 chair shots, but that sets up a match for Julius later, but we'll go into that. And but anyway, back to Von Wagner. And this match was good. Chase ends up doing, trying to chop the tree down a little bit with some good leg moves, going after Von's leg, but Von is just tough. And I'm going to say Von looked good in this match. He's getting better and better. You cannot say enough about Chase, though. Chase is doing good. The match is good. And then, of course, Mr. Stone's got to get involved. And when he gets involved, that causes Thea, the young lady, to get involved. And she ends up with a scooping him up and slamming Mr. Stone on the outside, which causes Chase to kind of stand there and smile and like he's happy that everything how it has happened. And they get back to slapping a few more times at each other. And next thing you know, that distraction does cause the end for Chase. But Chase pulls off a couple of moves right towards the end, man. You keep thinking that he is going to pull this off. They have written the story out. All Chase used hollering, screaming. You keep thinking that he's going to be able to pull it out. He gets out of the corner so he can do some moves on Von. I mean, he does everything it's textbook the way he does. He gets to do the Chase U stomp on him. He gets everything. But when Mr. Stone gets involved, the match changes and Von Wagner ends up winning this one. And right at the end of the match, they're talking to Melo, and he's saying pretty much, man, he doesn't give a crap who he is going to fight next. And flying through the air with the greatest of ease, it's Wesley. And Wesley comes out of nowhere, man. It's like he jumped off of a rafter or something. It looked really, really good. And of course, they're wrestling around on the ground. It's everything. It's organized chaos, folks. But that jump that Wes did was freaking great, man. It was great. It was on time. It was just, it was everything you want, because you did not see him coming into the screen. It was literally they've got Melo talking, and then out of nowhere, you've got them, and the next thing you know, you've got Melo scrambling to get out of there. You got referees trying to separate, and Wes makes it look good, man. He looks ticked, although there is just one referee holding him back. But then they go into Sangha, and he's with Nathan Frazier. And he pretty much lets Nathan know that, hey, if I can't be in this thing, I hope you win it, and you get a chance at the championship, And of course, Nathan's talking about his best of 3 series with Exum. So he's pretty pumped that Sangha has given his approval, I guess you would say. But then the surprise for me for that night, that big Indian gentleman, Sangha. And then all of a sudden another big Indian fella comes in, Veer. And they stand there, of course, looking dapper with their buttons, about 3 buttons open, and they kind of smile. Well, Veer smiles, but Sangha looks a little surprised. But they go into a little Trish promo where she's pretty much saying, before the commercial that, look, I walk the walk and talk the talk. So, it's not bragging if you back it up. And you know what? That is actually true. I looked it up. It's not bragging if you back it up. So since she's backing it up, that leads into the match with Wendy Choo. And Wendy Choo is a little ticked because she's tired of that big old boot she got, and our legend has already said that she is going to put another boot upside the head. Said boot upside the head. But anyway, match is pretty good. The match is pretty good. Trish is, Wendy Choo is doing great, and Miss Legend is coming on. She's a pure athlete being in the WNBA. To do that is just remarkable in itself. But to go into another field and she, they've got some other organization I hear has got someone named Jade Cardwell, I believe it is. And they're building her up kind of like a Goldberg, and not so sure how that's going to work, but we'll see, we'll see. But with Legend, she's taken some losses. She's done, she's had some good wins, but she's taken the losses. I've used her in a talk show and several things, but in this match, they go back and forth for a while. Now, I'll say this much. Miss Legend does do one move where Wendy is on the second rope, kind of laying with her back on it, and she pulls up on the rope, which Wendy jerks and causes her to go into the top rope, which it was a good looking move, and it leads to where you're thinking it's going to be like a scissor kick, but no, it's Wendy's down, so Legend drops with a big elbow on her. I do think a big scissor kick or something like that would have been really cool, but that continues the match on, couple close calls, and then what happens but Wendy Choo pulls it out. So the onesies win tonight. After, as I said, some good matches, because, Miss Legend, when she throws you in that turnbuckle, it looks like she threw you very, very hard. So anyway, it was a good match, man. It was a good match. So Wendy kind of gets back on her on this one, and kind of gets her for that big boot upside the head. So they go straight into a Wesley interview, and he's just talking about how much he wants Melo. Oh, but about that time, here comes Stax. Now, Stax lets him know that he's done what he thinks he did because he's done it before. So he did it so he knows. You got that? Pretty much he's saying, we know how to make things look like an accident, and we don't think that's an accident. So, Channing Lorenzo, Mr. Stax says, and kind of lets him know there's actions or for your, excuse me. He gonna get him back, man, for what he did. That's the gist of it. He gonna get him back. And Wes is like going, dude, man, I just, he's got so much on his plate already. But when he says that, Wes kind of gives a look like, okay, All right, next week then. It's on like a pot of neck bones. All right, and from there, they go straight into a Gallus promo where he is pretty much, or the guys are pretty much letting you know they're going to reboot kind of. They're on their way back, and it's not just the tag belts they're after. That's right, Braun. They're coming for you too. It's the Gallus boys. And good little promo, they do put a good promo on, so can't go wrong with that. But then after that, they go into they did have a interview with the lady champs, and just a little kind of impromptu interview where they're trying to look like they're just chilling with the belts. Everybody's got their belt on. I guess I've never won a belt, so maybe I'd walk around with it like that too. But from there, we're going to go into a Toxic Attraction tag team match, and it's going to be against Nikki Lyons and Toni Storm. But Toxic comes out with their regular entrance, but Wade, for some reason, thinks that they're distracted still because Mandy is still missing. And Mandy is still missing, and Alba Fire's got her, and a bat's in the car, and they have a rogue limo driver, so that would distract you. The match is actually pretty good. All four girls put on a good match, but Nikki and Toni seem to really are over. And out of nowhere. Nikki Lyons has just got the pop. She's on fire, and that finishing move with the splits that she does is really got it. And they cut her entrance off a little bit with Toni coming out, where she didn't get to do her Power Ranger stuff, but it's still the match is good. The girls put on a hell of a fight. So everything good about this match. Let me see. I was just looking over some of my notes here to make sure I didn't miss nothing on this. They're really working good together. And Toxic did look a little, I guess you could say, off at that. But they did get some good kicks in on Nikki. They got one upside Nikki's head that looked really, really good, which led to a couple moves where you think Toxic about to pull it off. But no, it is ending up with Miss Lyons and Miss Storm pulling this one out. And as I said, good match. Can't say anything bad about it. They then go into a Dragunov promo where he said he's done everything. And he does a good interview. This one's pretty good, little black and white effect, can't say anything wrong about that. It looks good. And after that, that's actually, I believe, when the lady champs had their interview, Perez and Jade. But they're going to go in to the Grayson Waller Effect Show. And look, you've had the Jerichos, you've had, everybody's had a show. Kevin Owens, everybody's had Miz, all these guys have had a show. But I have to say, Grayson has done a younger, hipper, kind of social media involved. He's got his Instagram up there going. But to this interview, or this show, is going to be, he's going to interview Cora Jade and Miss Perez. So, Cora's going to come out with her bat, that. And Miss Perez is going to come out, and of course, he's going to sit in between them. And he ends up scolding them at times. It's kind of a little awkward. It's kind of like there were two little girls, and it's your two, the way I would talk to some of my daughters, it would, I don't know how, but anyway, the actual bit was pretty good. He's running around there. He's got the Grayson cam on him. He scolds the girls. He's over there taking some pictures or he's live on Instagram, something like that. I don't know, but, all of a sudden, somebody's going to appear. But wait a minute, I can't leave this out. He introduces the fact that the ladies are going to have a special match where they're going to spin the wheel and it'll have different options up there for you to, that's the match you're going to have. So it could be anything. So that is all leading up to the ladies getting into an argument about it. And that's where all of a sudden, while he's live, taking some pictures, Apollo Crews shows up out of nowhere and does something which is I thought was new, and I like the way they did it. He didn't just start throwing hands with him or nothing like that. No. He pulls him under the ring. All kinds of things can happen under the ring. You know, it's only about a 3-foot space, but you would be amazed, you know, what can happen under the ring. I mean, think about it. They find everything under the ring to use in a match. You know, I've never knew of any place that just happened to put kendo sticks under there, and man, the chairs and tables, good gracious. So, he pulls him under the ring, and then when Grayson comes out, an eye for an eye, maybe? Eye for an eye, because his eye's all jacked. So, well, that is leading. I mean, that's pretty good there. I mean, I thought it was a good little ending there. And then they go into a schism, doing a, they're kind of getting on and saying they're disappointed to Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, not Little Red Riding Hood, but somebody in a red hoodie, which later on ends up being Grayson. I mean, not Grayson, but if I could get these names right and everything, it would be fantastic. I get Grayson. I just want to put him everywhere because he does such a good interview. I just keep wanting to put Grayson Waller out there. Them and Pretty Deadly. That's an odd couple, an odd group that I actually like. Yeah, I don't know how I can confuse Cameron Grimes with Grayson Waller when you look at it, but somehow I do. But Cameron Grimes ends up getting the bad end of this deal a little later on when he comes out and confronts Little Red Hood. But that's going to lead into a match with Julius Creed and Mr. Duke Hudson, which came in earlier when they were doing Brutus's promo with the 10 chair shots to the back. And look, I got to say, his shoulder looked messed. It looked jacked up, but when you're that big and you're getting hit like that with a chair that hard, it's going to leave a bruise, and it did. But this match, you're thinking, okay, they're going to give Duke Hudson a little push here and get everything. But no. Julius kind of puts this thing in the bag pretty quick. It's maybe 4 minutes or something like it. It's fairly short. And then Brutus is going to come out and jump on everybody, and then DK is going to come out. He's going to be up in the Muffet Skybox, and he's going to pretty much challenge the brothers to a one-on-one match, and the other brother is going to have to leave NXT. So it's setting up a good match. And look, man, DK is man, he's surprising me with his mic skills. So, he's doing really, really good. But they go into a JD promo, and it's pretty good. But and then they've got Quincy and Hank, they go into the JD promo, and then there's a promo with Hank Walker, the new security guy that's going to break through. He's going to become a superstar. And so he thanks everybody, but Quincy comes out and lets him know, man, I might have ticked old Zion off. So you might want to be careful. So that, of course, is leading to Hank Walker versus Zion Quinn. And Zion, I like. This match was good. He ends up winning the match, but he's gonna try to put a little whooping on, and then Quincy comes out and does his thing, and then slaps old Hank on the buttocks, and Hank has the appropriate reaction, like what the hell just happened? But then Quincy does his little bit of dancing, but that's gonna leave in to the Battling Brutes and Briggs and Jensen and Nofi and Blade. They all want matches because they all think that the Battling Brutes are going to win. So that usually the way they do that, you would think, oh, okay, I know who's going to win now, right? Because the way this is all set up, I know. Maybe you don't, because they're going to lead into a pretty deadly Mr. Kip and Elton against Rich and Butch, which is, of course, the Battling Brutes. And this match is going to be a good match. It just, with Pretty Deadly, it's going to be a good match. All right, well, as this match gets going, it starts off with Rich in there, and he's doing these deep hip tosses, man, old school, big hip tosses, and it starts off really good, man. And of course, Pretty Deadly does a lot of quick tags in and out, which is a true a wrestling style, or tag team wrestling style. With this match going back and forth, finally Butch does get in, and when he gets in, everybody likes to showcase their stuff in the first couple minutes they're in the match. So Butch ends up twisting the old fingers, and he does the bending the wrist and jumping on the back of the arm. He does all his signature moves, and it's a good, it looks great. Pretty Deadly is doing good. At one point in time, Rich and Butch actually do like the Sheamus chest, where they hit him on the chest when they get him on the ropes there, and they both go at it. So it's real good, little homage to Sheamus. But the match goes back and forth. At one point in time in it, looks like they're trying to put Rich into a sleeper hold, and he actually has to pull him up on him so he can do the walk to the ring or to the corner and tag Butch. And Butch is going to come in and throw down because he's on his back, and then he jumps like a leapfrog over him and takes him straight down for a pin attempt. A lot of good, close pin attempts. And, I mean, usually that looks, it's kind of boring after a while. But no. These guys were, you kept thinking, yes, they're about to pull it off, or, look at the time. They should be about, this should be it. And at one time, Butch even does I call it the Bryan Danielson stomp. But he grabs both arms by the wrist and just kicks down and kicks the daylights out of them. And he does. I think Butch hit every guy's hand at least with a kick, so it was one of those. But as I said, they go back and forth until Imperium shows up, and that causes the distraction, which is going to cause Pretty Deadly to win the match. And then Butch and Rich they go fighting off into the sunset. So this, of course, is setting something up for probably Friday night. And it's going to be pretty good because they came in and screwed them up on their tag title shots. So that should lead to some retribution in itself. So anyway, pretty good show. With Rich and Butch coming back. It was kind of good, and the Mellow match with Oro was really good. Chase, even with Von Wagner, you can't, I can't say anything bad about any of these. So some good solid matches. And Nikki Lyons is over like you wouldn't believe. But at the end of everything, when they finally get Pretty Deadly gets a chance to, kneel down with the belts, you've got Nuffy and Blade coming out, and then you've got Briggs and Jensen up in the Muffet in the Muffet booth up top, and that's going to be how this show goes off the air. So we didn't get to do any really history in this one. There wasn't a lot of history in this one where I could bring up other than like a Stan Hansen lariat. But I did watch a lot on Dean Malenko this week, and it was really, really good. Dean Malenko, a man of 1,000 holds. If you get a chance, it's worth looking up some of his matches. Let me see real quickly. We've got a question from someone in Tucson, Arizona, and it is Terry Stromboni. I'm sorry. Terry Stromberg, maybe. All right, we're going to try that. Hey, if I said your name wrong, I apologize because I'm an idiot. Anyway, she wants to know what is, we've done the bloodiest matches before, and there are always some good ones out there. But Lawler and these guys on my Monday Night Wrestling at the Coliseum, everybody bled. Everybody bled. It's in AEW, I believe, is trying to bring some of that old school back where. And a lot of these guys, man, WWE cut out the blood, and a lot of these older guys, that's part of their storytelling. Terry Funk, if he didn't have blood on him 3/4 of the way of a match, it wasn't a good match. So that's where I do miss some of that. Quick pokes and we get a little blood, and then everybody opens that cut up a little bit. So that will go. Yeah, it's a bloodthirsty sport. It's blood everywhere. Well, I guess that's going to end us for this week's NXT review. And I guess we're just going to end it like we always do. Rescue if you can, spay and neuter. Absolutely. And as always, this is Memphis Mark, and I'm out. Okay. My favorite part.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.